always figuring out what was the Most High's next move. What is he going to do for Israel next, or to Israel next, and for Israel next? And that's what we seek for, man. We look at the wisdom of Isaiah, wisdom of Obadiah, Malachi. You know, all these great men. Some of the righteous kings. How did they operate? The judges. How did they operate? What are some of the things they did? What was Gideon doing? You know, why was he testing? Why was he giving tests to his men? Things of this nature. We look at all the little things, the details of all the prophecies, man. You know, and we have to be occupied in the meditation of that, because that's what's going on right now. You know, just to bring it back. You know, that's wisdom. Wisdom is what? The application of basically what you know. You know, the knowledge that you know, it's applying it, you know? So what do we know? We know that America's going to be destroyed, all right? And how do we apply? By bringing these scriptures out, man. You know? Breaking them down the correct way with understanding.
Yeah, the world thinks wisdom. Remember Tupac said it, that was like a common thing. You know, it's a common street terminology that he said, they say wisdom is wise words being quoted. You know, but the Hail Mary. You know, he said that. Wise words being quoted. That's what a nigga tell you wisdom is. You know, actually wisdom is that, like the brother says, it's applying it. That's right. You know, that's right. There's a difference. There's a difference in just talking about it. You know, like the brother Amawan Gabar, he made the video. He said, the GMS Awakening 144. He said he made the video. He said the Apostle Manatazar asked him, what's the difference between a teacher and a leader? A leader is someone that is acting it out, showing you how to do it. You know, therefore that's wisdom. A teacher, you know, is just someone that teaches.
A teacher is somebody who has knowledge, because you can have knowledge. Right. But you know, that's why the Lord said, with all the wisdom get the understanding, because then you can actually apply what you know. Right. I mean, because a lot of people know stuff. Well, hey, as a matter of fact, because you talked about a teacher, right? Let me see if I can get that scripture right quick. It goes right into that.
Yeah, because you got a lot of people. They're not wise, man. They don't know. They're not applying nothing, man. They're just out there going through the motions.
Oh, got it. This is Ecclesiasticus 37:19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Yeah. He's not really wisdom.
Wise. The scripture says wise because he's looked at being wise.
Yeah.
But and he teaches many, so therefore he's looked at being wise.
To himself he's wise.
Yeah. But it says, and yet is unprofitable to himself. Right. So the application of the things that he's saying,
he ain't doing himself.
You know?
Yeah, that's like, what's his name? That was in the camp, Bill Cosby.
What?
Sabar Buck.
Yeah, Sabar Buck.
He was like that. He had all them scriptures, you know, break them down, but he wasn't applying them to himself, you know. I mean, you don't do yourself no profit when you do that, man. These scriptures that we have, the prophecies, we apply them to, all right, what's going on today, and then the morals things, like the Proverbs and stuff, we try to figure out, okay, how do I apply this to my daily life? Like when the scripture says, if at all possible, be at peace with all men, you know? That means you're not out here just knocking people out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't see peace through putting hands on people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, brother. And really, a lot of times the difference is on wisdom and intelligence. Because in the world, they have this thing where they say, well, the man is smart. You know, and intelligent. When you look at intelligent, it goes back to the word intellect or intel. Which meaning what? It means that the person is able, it's really just a person who's able to gather intel in their minds. That's what intelligence is. An individual who's able to gather intel means information. You know, that's why you see cats, he reads a book, you know, he studies, and then he gets an A on the exam. Now you put him on the work field, he has no idea what to do. But he just aced that exam, though. Why? Because he was able to gather intel. He's intelligent. But a wise man, he might not pass that test, but once you put him in the field because of past experience of different things, and of course his wisdom in the Lord, he's gonna make things happen.
There's a scripture says a better man with little wisdom than.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I got it right here.
Trying to find it.
Ecclesiasticus 19 and Ecclesiasticus 19 and 24. He that has small understanding and feareth Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is better than one that has much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
He ain't applying that wisdom. But that man has little understanding. He's applying all the little that he knows.
Absolutely.
That's way greater.
Yeah, way greater.
And that goes into what Paul was saying to the Jews in the land. Paul was like, listen, we can't put all the burden of the laws of Moses on them. You know, we just got to give them bam, bam, bam. Stop worshiping idols, stop sacrificing, and have faith. And off of that, if you just righteous off of that, if you have that understanding, just them having that understanding made it better than the circumcision living in a land that was breaking the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah, you get the knowledge in increments, and to be able to chew it and able to not chew it, but you know, because you first start off with milk. Yeah. You got your body has to learn to digest milk. Yeah. It can't digest solids. You know, as a babe, you can't digest the solids. You got to learn. Your stomach has to. Like even when you fast, if you fast like two whatever, you know, you fast for a good portion amount of days or whatever the case is. You know, you can't go back to eating whole foods because you'll feel it. You'll feel it. You know, but if you have to go back to, you know, drinking liquids because it's a process starting all over. You know, so that's what the brother made the example with. Those new disciples that came in, they weren't able to get heavier dosage because, you know, their insides would be ruined, you know, so to speak.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 12. Hebrews 5 and 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Yep.
For everyone that uses milk,
it said if you being taught again. That means, hey, that means goes for us too. You know, brother's been in the knowledge X amount of years. Yo, man, sometimes you got to digress. You know, I always bring out the example, if you ever drove stick before, when you cruising, you in fifth gear, you know, if you want to go faster, sometimes you make downshift to the third gear. You downshift to the third gear, you rev high. Yep. Then you're able to accelerate a lot faster because you downshift. You know, so that's what brothers have to do. Matter of fact, when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, he said, man, I had to take it back to the old school, man. I had to take it back. And that's when he brought out the axe. He was chopping wood. He said, I had to take it back on him, man. So he could be in tip-top shape. Although, you know, Mayweather did all the most extreme workouts, but he went back to the basics to fight at a higher level.
Well, I'm gonna give a good example as well, brother. Boy football, Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
How he explained how now for the past couple of years when he's really been untouchable in football, he explained that he had to go back to the man that helped him deal with his his footwork. You know, the hip movement, footwork, and the basic stuff. He's saying he had to call that old devil to come back to his house, and teach him those basics again. And that's, why? Because after a while dealing with high stuff, you forget the little things, and then you end up making bad throws.
Salaki, bro, you know what it is? You know what it is? That's humility. Because Tom Brady, he won X amount of Super Bowls. He got his mind to a higher level. So that pride. So we are accelerating in the knowledge. The scriptures say knowledge puffeth up. So even in the knowledge as you puff up, so to speak, because with that it happens. As you puff up, you got to remind yourself. Oh look, let me step back for a moment. Let me go back to the basics, man.
Grab my old notebook.
Yep.
Get some of these fundamentals.
Yeah. Go back to the fundamentals, man.
That's the word I was looking for.
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals, man.
The fundamental guy, Tim Duncan.
Hell yeah.
The big fundamental.
Yeah. Fundamentalist.
You all look
it up.
Yep. Etymology. Fundamental.
This is Hebrews 5 verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Right, those are the basics, you know. Know who you are first, break that down, get some of the curses. All right, once you get that, find out who the enemy is. You can break that down. You know, maybe go into some of Daniel's prophecies. You know, get some history under your belt. You know, you grasp all subjects. Get some history. You know, get some prophecies in. You know, get some parables in. Yahushua's parables in. You know.
That's right.
Those are the building blocks of this truth, man. You know, and you know, I advise too younger brothers, and you remember we used to do this. We come out, whatever we were reading throughout the week, we'd write down on a piece of paper, bring it out to camp, and that would be our base. Sometimes we get through all the precepts. Sometimes we just get the first one, and then the spirit would just jump off into another direction. But younger brothers, get in the habit of writing down what you want to bring out on the highways and byways. So when you get out, you're not trying to, you know, jump around and stuff, because it's easier that way. Hey, that's how we did it, you know.
That's right.
Because we dealing with all types of crazy people out here, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, right quick, just want to say, like you said, going back to the basics, it helps you polish your skills, your fundamental skills. You know, going back to the basics helps you polish your fundamental skills, spiritual skills. What Zechariah calls it the instruments of the prophet, you know, which is preaching the word. It's the fundamentals that get you polish your skills, and guess what? It's the fundamentals that wake Israel up through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It's not Israel's not waking. Jake ain't walking around. He been dead for 30 years. Walking around, and then he hears you talking about and the beast, and you know, and the beast has 7 heads and 10 horns, and all of a sudden he's like,
waiting for that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. You know, no, right?
What it's good to say, to push the milk.
That's right.
You know, the word, because it goes back to the word fundament. It says foundation.
I knew it. I was about to say it. Let me get this scripture right quick, brother, off of that. This is Colossians 2:7. I'm going to start at 6. As ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushua, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Oh, man, I just looked that word up too.
Yeah, it said, and what you've been taught.
Yep.
Like you said from the beginning, what you've been taught is the basics. You know, it's more. And Baba Bashar, if I could bring that out after. It says foundation, base, buttocks, anus, you know, foundation, bottom, land, estate,
But
anus.
you know what? This is all connected to your back, your legs, and all that.
Your core.
Yeah. Standing up is an exercise. You know, standing up is an actual exercise, bro.
We always moving little by little. You know, like we don't see it, but we always moving, try not to fall. So you can keep that balance.
And that's why I say also, if you lock your knees, if you lock your knees, you'll pass out and shit, man. Because you got to know how to. You got to know how to stand up properly. That's why if you got a job where you sit down a lot, you're killing yourself, man.
So really that core, the core.
It's the core. Core, lower back.
Yep.
It says foundation, bottom, land, estate, anus. It says from Latin fundamentum, foundation, groundwork, support, beginning, from fundare to found. You know, see bottom, so-called because it was where one sits. Yeah.
I looked at that Hebrew word because I just did that word this week. It's kawan, which means establish.
Sit?
Establish?
Yeah. Kawan.
That's the same
sit
thing
is
right
we say it all the time. Yeshad, or Yeshad.
Oh yeah, sit. Yeah, sit.
Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, right here it says Colossians 2:7, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith.
Established. Yep. We bring that out. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Ephesians 2 verse 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets Yahushua HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone.
Yeah, the chief cornerstone, that's the foundation. You know? That's what it boils down to. Everything is built up off that stone. You know? But it said, it said the apostles and all.
Yeah, it says and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets.
And prophets. Oh, there's prophets. Because you know, check this out, right? Because you ask the average churchgoer, well, they could probably sneak away with it because they'll tell you that there's no way, because there's no way they'll tell you that John is the last prophet. You know, but that doesn't make sense. You know, because the prophets are back. Right. You know, the prophets, the spirit of the prophets didn't go nowhere. You know, and that you gotta get ye to the prophets, man. You know, because that's where the foundation lies.
Right.
Which is the representation of Yahushua. Matthew 10 and 40. He that receiveth you have received me.
That's right.
He that received me have received my Father who have sent me.
That's right.
You know?
Like you said, the Colossians said established in the faith.
Good.
You know, so when you link that with the apostles, remember, when we gotta remember what was the thing that triggered your awakening. You know, like you say, that's why we always, even to this day, we always go, you know, Deuteronomy 28. We read, you know, base scriptures that triggered our awakening.
Yeah.
That made us have faith in awaken to that faith. So it's not, you know, you have to do that from time to time.
Hey, that's why when we ask the confused face, what's the color of the Lord?
That's right.
That's the easiest thing to get first.
Those are things that triggered our faith.
Yeah.
Those are the basics, the core. So you can't just like not go to that and just keep going further and further down, and you know, you get lost out there, man. Sometimes you gotta relax and get back to the core.
Yeah.